Now, this was the first time that an election was held in Sri Lanka under a mixed electoral system, with 60% of candidates being elected from the wards and 40% from the list. Another key feature of the election is the 25% quota for women council members.
As at 6:30 this evening, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna had won the most seats in 222 local government authorities with 45.61% of the total vote island-wide. The UNP have won the most seats in 41 bodies. Other party majority seats are as follows: the Ilangai Tamilara Sukatchi with 34 authorities, the SLFP with 7 authorities, the Ceylon Workers' Congress with 5, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress with 4, and the United People's Freedom Alliance with 3. Independent groups have also been successful in winning the most seats in several local government authorities. However, in many of these local councils, the parties winning the most seats failed to establish clear majorities, which would mean that alliances and coalitions will have to be formed at the local level. According to informed sources, these discussions have already commenced.
For the first time, a sitting member of government, the United National Party, managed to get totally routed by a party that is just a year old. The United National Party controls all the major ministries like finance, foreign affairs, internal affairs, trade, the police, and so on. The SLFP, despite being split in two, has performed admirably well as a new, clean party. This is very important, as the split was caused, encouraged, and engineered by Ranil Wickremesinghe by failing to act on investigations against the Rajapaksas. This is a fact and an open secret. The people have not made the distinction between the president and the UNP. As a result, the people have voted overwhelmingly against the government. The stock UNP voters have protested by staying at home. All those connected to protecting those involved in the bond scam and other cases of corruption have lost heavily. Sujiva Senasinghe, the State Minister of International Trade, was brought into the second cope and claimed to have spoken to Arjuna Aloysius about writing a book, except that the book was published a whole year before the telephone calls. The telephone calls were made a whole year later, in short. Sujiva Senasinghe was also a member of the Footnote Club. Sujiva Senasinghe represented the Kaduwala electorate. The UNP was unable to secure victory for the Kaduwala Urban Council. The SLPP scored 26 seats, the new party, while the UNP only managed to secure 11. Haran Fernando, a senior minister in charge of telecommunications and digital infrastructure, represents the Badulla electorate. Although the UNP was able to secure the Badulla Municipal Council, it lost the Badulla Pradesh Sabha to the UNP. Minister Kabir Hashim, the General Secretary of the UNP, was part of that infamous bond breakfast meeting. He scraped through with just 830 votes, enough to secure victory for the Mavanala Pradesh Sabha. They share 16 seats each with the SLPP, the new party. Ajit P. Pereira, the Deputy Minister of Power and Renewable Energy, was a member of the COPE Committee and the Footnote Club as well. The UNP lost control of the Bandaragama Pradesh Sabha, which Ajit Pereira represents. His brother, Lalit Pereira, who also contested the election, lost. Education Minister Akila Viraj Karewasam represents 4 local government bodies in the Kuliapitya electorate. The UNP managed to win just 1 of those bodies. On the other hand, Sajid Premadasa, the Minister of Housing and Construction, won the Hambantota Urban Council, and the Navin Disanaika also performed very well in Norelia. In Hambantota, the UNP won 7 seats, while the SLPP won 4. In Norelia, the UNP won the Norelia Municipal Council and the Norelia Pradesh Sabha. Unless the UNP can reorganize, recalibrate, and bring in fresh leadership, And unless the people step up to make this happen, this party will no longer be relevant in contemporary Sri Lankan politics. Minister Lakshman Kiriyala mentioned openly he would teach a lesson to the media on the 10th. Rather than doing this, we think it best if the minister goes to the villages with a pen and paper and write down what the people have to say about why the UNP went wrong. This may not be an election, this may not be an election that will change the central government or change the executive, but the people have spoken clearly on the changes they wish to see.